Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, continuing on with my historically accurate Munster playthrough in the Tip Volume 2 mod. We're kind of waiting at the moment to get the money together to form the High Kingship. We're hoping that the Pope will become our friend and give us the money that we need. We have taken the requisite land. We conquered Dalnardi in the last episode. We also got Meath to give us vassalization, and unfortunately we got Cahur killed. What I was thinking of doing was offering a matrilineal marriage to keep House Moel Shockloin going. However, here is Cahur. So here is Cahur's father, Moel Shockloin. Here is his brother. So there's Murica and his other brother, Patrick. So Murica is 50 and Patrick is 2. Fair play to Cahur. And Murica has a son. So the Finchnachta, the most suitable thing would be for the two of them to get married. For Caoch to marry, I don't know. It's not her uncle, her first or second cousin, I'm not too sure. But one thing that we will do, we were trying to kidnap Ben Ulla. So there she is, the poor thing, the deposed ruler of Dalnardi. We can't give her back her land, so it doesn't really matter what we do. I think her family is on the verge of being... I know, there's a couple of members of the Dal Fiatach there. So what we're going to do, instead of wasting our time trying to abduct her, let's marry her. We've just taken her land, and we'll now make her the secondary wife of the future High King of Ireland. Our conquest of Leinster has led to a change in the power dynamics on the island of Ireland. We replaced Connaught as the head of the Irish culture. And there's been another bit of a change in the power dynamic. Our sister, Moore, has died. We've gained some stress as a result of that. Died from being ill, which means that our alliance with Connaught has now ended. I'm not too sure we're in a position to renegotiate that alliance. We most certainly are not. We could... I was going to say we could have seen about marrying our daughter Dervla. We've married her to a knight. We could have possibly married her to one of our nephews, one of her cousins. But at the moment, our alliance with the slightly stronger Connaught has come to an end. Hopefully, we can get through to the Pope, form the High Kingship, and vassalize Connaught before it becomes a threat to us. For some time now, we have been trying to fabricate a hook on Countess Scahach in Tyrone. And what we're going to do is we are going to create a ruse. We will save her from vicious bandits. However, we will not save her. No, our son Aedoin will. We just need to pay 50 quid, which is a bit of a pity, because like I said, we need that money. But we have created a weak hook on her. She is indebted to us. And let's see if we can use that to organize a marriage between herself and our son Aedoin. Aedoin is not currently in line to succeed to the kingship. Maybe in a future generation he might, but it will put a member of the Inale on the throne of Tyrone at some stage, and hopefully get this comely trait into the family. So, Scahach the Foolish, head over heels about our son Aedoin, who has now left the court, actually to become her... Well, I don't know what he's left to become. We now have an alliance with her, which isn't worth all that much. I don't think that she is in a position where she might accept vassalage. We could try to sway her. To get her to accept vassalage. But, yeah, there you go. We will have, hopefully, if all goes well, a member of the Dalgash in power in this region. So here is our son Arthur, whose marriage we broke up in the last episode, to think about marrying him to the Countess of Meath, a plan that we have now abandoned. While we were in the castle town, Arthur's attention was caught by a criminal who's been chained up. Arthur lifted his head and made a show of ignoring the criminal's begging for water. Good. Let him know his place, so he will keep the trait arrogant. It is sinful to Insilris. We could make him compassionate, or we could make him callous. So if we're to give him callous, that would push up his intrigue traits. We're going to gain 45 stress. We're not in an immediate position to get rid of that. Sure. Let's make him callous. Spit on him. Beat him. He deserves nothing less. He's taking out all his rage after we broke up his marriage. Oh, so we got some bad news. Lots of bad news coming in there. Well, some good news there at the end. We got 300 stewardship lifestyle experience from, I think it's our wife. We're seeing issues with the forces wandering around the place. So the task to try and increase control in, I think it was Loch Lane, wasn't it? Has been abandoned. We have a couple of different regions that need to be upped, but the worst one is that we have not succeeded in our attempts to sway the Pope. I remember saying this would come back to bite me at some stage. It has been revealed that we have a child with Ximena. Who are they to judge us? So we've gained the trait Adulterer, we never lost it. We've lost a level of devotion. Oh, I did not spot just how bad that had gotten to. And we've lost 30 opinion. Oh no, we've lost 30 opinion. 60 opinion with Ban Ulla. Who are they to judge us? Where exactly is this going on? Where exactly in the world is this going on? My lover has been showing the signs of pregnancy for some time. And my suspicions, and the suspicions about me being the father of the child, has grown in tandem with her stomach. Now I know for certain, as does the rest of the realm, the child is mine. Maybe we can give the child a good Irish name. It's better this way, surely. Oh. Oh no, where do we need to, what prison do we need to go to break her out? Boys, oh boys, how have we been getting down there? I don't know how this is actually going to affect our standing with Pope. Because we're an adulterer, it reduces us by -5. I don't think it's suitable. I don't think it's suitable that we should become the High King of Ireland while we are an adulterer. So most likely, what we're going to have to do is go on a pilgrim. I mean, while we're a sinner. My wife, Ailish, her tears hurt far worse than the harsh words ever could, because she's crying into the pints that she is delivering to me. And it's breaking my heart. She's watering down the pints. Murchad, how could you do this? I love you, you foolish man. Come back to me. Leave that bar, and everything will be forgiven. So, she loses the unfaithful opinion, and ourselves and Ximena stop being... Well, we're not getting into her in the prison, so we might as well. I will do anything to deserve your forgiveness. Now stop crying into the pints. So we've seen out a second month that gets us up to 100 gold. So what we will do is we will go on a pilgrimage. We will try and make up for what we have done. I don't want to say where's Chape, but, you know, where's Chape? Will we go to Lindisfarne? We could just go up the road to Armagh. that's exactly what we will do. We will recreate the journey of our father, Toirdelbach, who visited Armagh, but also our great-grandfather, Brian Boru, who went to Toirdelbach. So this is both something we are doing in preparation for our crowning as High King of Ireland. It's also to save a bit of money. Shh. And we're also doing it to say sorry to God for all that adultery. So much adultery. As I prepare for my journey, I know that I will travel safely. I'd say if we're depending on the protection of God now at this stage, we might be in a bit of trouble. Though I will not be gone for long, I pray for the well-being of the realm in my absence. Sure, we're only heading up the road. Now, well, Muira is with child, and I should be overjoyed. However, she has been acting strange. So we will gain, I would say, a crippling level of, stress if we accept that we're the father. So we have a 90% chance to look into this. Among my fellow pilgrims, there is a man who preaches compassion and fellowship until he reaches the topic of heathens. I've known some heathens. They're not all bad. One evening, around the campfire, he loudly declares them to be abominable monsters in the eyes of God, deviants and child murderers all. Most people avert their eyes when he looks at them. Tonight, I was not quick enough. Do you not agree, O petty king? So we could gain piety and disdain for heathens. They're not all bad. And I would not trust anyone who came to their defense. So it's disdain for heathens for 10 years, sympathy for heathen for 10 years, or 100 piety and disdain for heathens for 10 years. I think affairs in and around Barcelona have turned our opinions of people of other religions, especially those Catholics. Can't trust them. Our suspicions have been laid to rest, and unfortunately, well, Muira has found out about our suspicions, so she's not too happy. We're losing a lot. We've a lot of very angry women, a lot of very angry people in the court who are quite close to us, who could cause trouble. And just as we arrive at Armagh, we are told that we have finished the construction of some high tents at Toirdelbach. We're finally here, body and soul, at the great Abbey of Armagh. Another 250 piety, and because our faith, we get the Enlightened Pilgrim, so it's going to give us some extra diplomacy and learning. And after we give out about people of different faiths, we get a opinion bonus with people of different faiths. I have walked the holy path. So our journey has been a long one, but we return home feeling a bit holier. Hopefully our wives will sense how apologetic we are. We are gaining an extra 0.12 per month anyway. And we're still a good bit away from hitting dutiful, and already, possibly, God is punishing us for our misdemeanors. Our child, or the child that we would have had with Muira, was not meant to be. Maybe our suspicions and the stress that we put her under had something to do with that as well. Though conceived outside the bonds of marriage, my newborn son has safely made it into the world. He is born into the house of Brian, and that is how he will be raised. So we could name him after an ancestor. We could give him a Waladi name, or a good Andalusian name. No. Give him a good, there you go, Donica. Oh wait, no, he's going to have the O'Brien surname, so we will call him Abdul. Abdul O'Brien. May God, well, yeah, sure. He's heard bad things about us. He's heard bad things about us. We have failed in yet another attempt to sway the Pope. And in the midst of it all, our spy master tells us that somebody is plotting to kill my wife, Anya. I think Anya was the first secondary wife that we took. I think she's now our longest wife. After, I think it was Gladys, died in prison. So somebody is plotting to kill her. She's not our biggest fan. Oh lord, she's not our biggest fan. Minus 108. So, yeah, sure. We'll keep an eye on it. There's a couple of powerful factions being built in the Leinster region. And we're in a position to get a new lifestyle perk. And there you go, the anarchy and the bedlam that man has witnessed at 83 years of age. Crohur the Abbot has passed away. So we're not generating a ton of money at the moment, but we do want to continue with our building works, and that's pretty much what we're going to be doing from here on in. We could go for War Profiteer, but I think we're going to go for Cutting Cornerstones, which is going to benefit construction costs for buildings and holdings. Oh no! Oh no! What has happened here? Greetings, Petty King Murchad of Munster. Blessings upon you and your house. Your occupation of lands, which rightfully belong to me, can no longer be tolerated. It is time that I see them return to my possession. Connaught has declared war for the Earldom of Tuavuin. We're told apparently that we have similar levels of troops. This is something that worried us in the past. What is he taking advantage of? Is it the breakdown in our religious standing? It's definitely the breakdown in our actual alliance, but who would have thought that the devil was plotting and planning this all along? We will rally our troops and we will see what the scenario looks like. At the moment, the numbers don't look too bad, but that is going to change dramatically in a minute. We have called in all of our allies from Scotland. So we have Lothian, we have our brother-in-law, and we have Tyrone as well, with 900 and something troops, which isn't actually all that shabby. Connaught only has a single ally, however. But look who it is. One of the largest provinces in England, with 4,500 troops. So what are we going to have to do? Try and get in a lightning strike against Connaught. The only problem is that we're going to be attacking into Connaught, which is a boggy area. They're going to have advantages in there. We have the same advantages, but I think they're going to have a defender bonus. So, on the one hand, we want to try and get this done as quickly as possible. I think what we're going to probably do is march on Valley, or possibly even march on Ivonia, or wait for them to come to us. That's not really much of a strategy. The other thing is that we had a couple of people who we had weak hooks on, and I have actually caught in those hooks, so we've put together maybe just over €100. €100 back in the good old Western Roman euro. We've put together some money, so if needed, we'll panic. All our allies have indeed joined. Here we see Connaught. And I don't know if we're going to be able to hit them. It's entirely possible. We are bringing our forces in. I think what we're going to have to try and do is chase them down. This is what I was talking about. You see, they're bringing across that large army, or at least I thought they were bringing across that large army. Lothian is remaining over there. We're going to start getting big attrition penalties, so we really can't leave this region. At the moment, we're going to see if we can try to siege down at one of their holdings. Somebody's inviting Arthur, actually Caleb, who we were trying to arrange a marriage. Yeah, sure, we'll send him out. We're going to see where Connaught goes to. If they... Where are they going? Okay, interesting. We're going to lift that siege, because if we can hit them while they have that penalty... Oh, this is gonna be someday. This is going to be someday. We have deployed our spy master to try and find some secrets. He's discovering stuff. I had done this already before I realized that we were going to need... before the war started. So I've been doing this to try and get money together. They're going to give us battle here, which is going to be interesting. So many pop-ups. So, this is Murchad complaining, if I'm correct, about his brother. That's great. Good for you. We have a couple of exchanges going on. Arthur has come back alive. That's absolutely fantastic. That's great. That's brilliant. Here we have a major battle. It does seem to be going against Connaught. However, Petty King Rory himself is actually commanding Connaucht's army, while we still have our commander, Brian, selected for his military engineering abilities, but he's actually a pretty good commander as well. And we have Lothian's army partying its way in like it's 1999. And here is possibly something absolutely fantastic. Hextilda has decided to declare a liberty war against England. I was thinking that Connaught had me absolutely pinned, that they had picked the perfect time to declare a war, and it looks like they have actually picked the worst time, because I saw Hextilda's army marching and then turning around. Let's see how this battle goes. We have some... it'll be the first test of some of our major knights. It looks like we are indeed going to get the advantage. It's a hefty defeat for Connaught. Here is another attempt to improve the traits of our son. However, it will lead to a break if we pick anything that might benefit him. I don't think Just is going to benefit his intrigue skills. That's gonna... Just definitely won't help. And Cynical. Cynical will give him +2 intrigue. It will break us. Well, look, we broke your marriage, so we might as well take a bit of stress, and I imagine at this point in time, the Petty King is indeed stressed. And yeah, we'll give him a bit of drink, and that'll keep him happy. We're going to plop ourselves down where we are and begin the siege of Ivonia. We have captured the mayor of Sligo. That is a great man to knock out of contention. That is a good man to have knocked out of contention. And let's see how our knights performed. And we're seeing tons of names and numbers in here. So here is Glún Iran Mac Gilabhricte. So he is the youngest son of Gilabhricte in Scotland. I think 4 or 5 of his elder siblings are dead. He's next in line to rule, and he has killed Eob of Ivonia. So a fantastic strike there. I think we're seeing a lot of... There's Gilabhricte's steward. Here is our son-in-law, Lachlan, who we married Dervla to. So he's after putting in a great performance. He was ill, but that got him out of bed and fighting. So Gilabhricte's troops are doing mighty work. Actually, I think they actually came in... Oh no, they didn't. They didn't come in late to the battle. They came in time. But basically, yeah, they're doing absolutely fantastic work. And look at this, just the pure number of troops that we had. There's Macbeth. We will dismiss that. We will leave our troops where they are, and we will continue to siege down this area. Now, we've just gotten that pop-up again about a powerful faction, and this is a bit of a problem. Is that we are going to see our troop numbers decreasing. Poor Ban Ulla, who lost her kingdom at the end of the last episode, has lost a child. So this is becoming a very stressful period in the kingdom's history. Already, Connaught is back up to 1,500 troops. It's going out to sea again. I imagine it's going to head south along the coast. We're going to have to see if we can get these sieges done. More secrets are being revealed by our spy master, and as winter sets in, there's not a huge lot we can do about those at the moment. We could maybe start blackmailing people. I might get onto that now in a couple of minutes, but it would be absolutely fantastic if we could take both Ivonia and Ivale and then march down and hit Rory's army again. I am shocked and outraged that he would betray us like this. Now, we've actually finished promoting the culture in Dublin. I'm not too sure, has that changed the culture? It has indeed. It has changed it to Irish. So Dublin is now Irish, and Leinster is now insular. So we have removed the Catholic heresy. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be outsieged in Desvoon. So Desvoon is indeed going to fall to Connaught. And we can't really start moving until Ivale falls. So the forces have started to move out. We've paused very quickly. We're going to send our troops down. And what timing! Murchad of Munster has found peace in Christ's embrace at 50 years of age. He drank himself to death. A shameless adulterer. He will be remembered for his treachery and his covetous disposition. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Petty King Diarmid ascends to the throne in the midst of a war. An accomplished diplomat, vassals and foreign rulers alike are sure to respect him. What timing, what timing. Murchad has drank himself to death with the loss of 2 children, the shredding of his piety, and the misery and destruction that he had brought upon numerous kingdoms. And of course, what has now happened is we've lost everything. We've lost everything, if I am correct. We have lost Leinster. Oh, this might be bad. So yeah, this is bad. In Dublin and Meath, here is Connaught, and her liege is Arthur, who is beginning to look as though he might be a very suitable ruler one day, possibly the individual that we should select to succeed. In Leinster, I'm not actually too sure what's after happening in Leinster. Murchad, or Edoin. So, the eldest son of Murchad has taken the lands of the Dal Naradi and is now the Duke of Leinster. So he's actually in a position to become quite powerful. And of course, he has very good stewardship figures as well. I forgot about that. Because his wife is the ruler of Tir Owen. They had a child, however, that died from being sickly. So here we have Munster, and then Leinster, and then we have Meath. We don't have alliances with any of these regions. I'm wondering if we can actually... We could call house members to war. So that's something we can do if it becomes... If it becomes necessary. Oh, we're in a precarious situation. We have no children. We're not in a position. We have no alliance through our wife, who was the daughter of the King of Lothian. So can we actually renegotiate that marriage? Or that we can renegotiate that alliance. Excellent. So through our wife, we can indeed renegotiate that alliance. That's good at the very least. Once this war comes to an end. And we have a couple of people with potential alliances we were looking at trying to overthrow the kingdom of Mon at one stage, but now we have to try and retake everything that we lost to our drunkard of a brother. Oh, damn the drink. The drink is the devil. Diarmid is a diplomatic figure. And I won't say it's not the most useful to us. Sway scheme power, that's going to be helpful in getting some money out of the Pope, actually. Prestige per powerful vassal, so we actually do have some powerful vassals on the council at the moment. Offer vassalization. Do you know what? This might not actually be the worst. This might not be the worst, but we don't really have anyone that we can offer vassalization to at the moment until we actually start getting up into Ulster. We're going to go for the family focus. Get that fertility up, because he has no children at the moment. We'll finish off the August tree. And then we'll see from there. What we'll do quickly, actually, is take a look at the man himself. So, very high diplomacy. Stewardship isn't too shabby. Likes a good baiting. So there's a bit of a health penalty. And at the moment, our player heir is Crahur, our brother Crahur, who is still our court physician. Fair play to him. He has become a novice physician. Who would we select? Who would we select to vote for the kingship at the moment? So Crahur is who some people are backing. I think that we are going to support... Where is he gone to? I think we're going to support Arthur. Another interesting candidate would be, and I believe that he was contending for the kingship after Diarmid. So Diarmid historically was king of Munster. But I think Brian actually contended for the kingship afterwards. But Brian's a bit old. Brian's a bit old. So we will go... we'll support Arthur. We're going to be getting a ton of pop-ups. Tasks aborted. Crahur is no longer your court physician. A man who could have been the Bishop of Ireland. Our younger brother. So we've lost 2 brothers in the space of a few days. Oh, I don't know what to say. Connaught is possibly realising, not that it's made a mistake, but that it's made us quite angry. Our forces have gotten into the battle against them. Lachlan has wounded Taig. Our friend Donal has died. So this is Donal Mac Muel Shachnail Uvrian, slain by forces loyal to Caelach. Mac Murchad of the Ufiacruk, so one of our knights, has died in battle. We are on the verge of absolutely losing it in the first couple of days since we have come to power. That is another hefty defeat for Connaught. I don't think it's enough to do anything against them or to knock them out massively if we try and send our forces in this region. So if we come for Ufiacruk, we're gonna get hit badly. We can go for Rathcrogan, which should be the capital. Crocan or Crochan. There's a couple of ways of pronouncing it. That's the ancient capital of Queen Maeve, but the actual capital is in Dunvon-na-Galva. So we're going to march on Crochan anyway. I'm half thinking of splitting the armies and sending them in different directions, because we do want to try and get this war over and done with quickly. I'm gonna have to withdraw Donica, our spy master. Let's not waste time in that region. And the other thing that I did want to check is, how are the numbers looking? See, the thing is that they still have this alliance, and so I would be worried that they might come back in our direction at some stage. And it looks like Lothian is going to push in. Are they going for Connaught, or are they? They are. Fair play to them. If we take a look at that battle, again, big numbers on the side of Connaught, because of course they had the least number of knights. Alan got nothing done. And if we look down here at the bottom, poor old Donal. Donal was actually our steward. So he was a 7, and we're now down to a 6 in terms of stewardship figures, so we are not doing great. In terms of stewards, we've lost a lot of very able and capable individuals. We're going to siege down this region. And we're going to then see if we can march. We'll probably try and march south and lift the siege of Desvuin. Or we could leave... We could stay here, because if we don't... Lothian isn't making much progress in Connaught. So yeah, we'll lift the siege of Desvuin. We'll march down. We'll give Connaught another beating. Oh, the devils! We were so close. So we're now being told that Donica... Who the hell is Donica? He's formed a new alliance. Here is Donica of Kildare, who has formed an alliance with Connaught and might join the war. He'd want to think about not joining that war. See, they're actually on the verge of taking Connaught, and if we move down, they'll lift that siege. So they're actually very close to taking Connaught. Murica has indeed joined, bringing up to 1900. We're not in a position to cut across just yet. We'll remember this. Okay, that siege has completed. Let's see if we can now head cross-country for Ossory. We will wait for the troops to arrive in. We're being told that it's... Oh yeah, well, it's going to be an overwhelming defeat because we've nobody coming in after us at the moment. We might actually have to park up our troops again for a second and wait. Thaig, our steward, is most certainly the man who's in need of the most stewardship guidance at the moment. It's a pity Lothian's army is a bit far away from us. And if we could actually, I don't think we will, but if we could manage to catch one of the armies, we have caught Kildare. We have caught Kildare. We have reached 100% war score. We will bring this war to an end. We're going to enforce our demand. He's going to have to pay us 116 quid. And there you go. It was Kildare who managed to mess this up. It was Kildare who managed to mess this up by allowing themselves to get caught. We will enforce those demands. To the sensible petty King Diarmid. Yeah, I'll give you sensible. Our armies have stood down. Our allies will begin the process of standing down. We're left in a weakened state. We'll have to come to our council, and Brian, this is all Brian has ever done. He has spent his time bringing control, under control, all the time and effort that we spent changing the culture of Dublin, changing the religion of Leinster, all for nothing. We got no benefit from it. But we do have to accept that our brother Murchad was cursed by God. He was an evil and sinful man. He died in sin. He lived in sin. He has left a ton of sinful characters around the court, and we might have to do something about that. We'll take a look at that victory first of all. So there you go. Not much to write home about. Not much to write home about at all. If we look at our prison, there's Cahúr's empty seat. If we look at our prison, here is Coleman, Inale, 18 prowess, for diplomat. This is a man who is going to be, if he will accept, recruited to make up the empty ranks of our court. We will negotiate that release. Here is Mayor Muira. What a fantastic figure. Unfortunately, he is the mayor of Sligo. We're not in a position to recruit him to court, I don't believe. We could gain a weak hook on him, or we could ransom him for 30 gold. We're going to need money. We're going to need money to... Our finances have never been this strong, but we have a lot that we need to try to rebuild. Earl Donica. He'll give us 50 gold. We're at 190 stress. He'll give us 50 gold. His primary heir is his daughter, who is married to so this is how they organize that that betrothal, or that alliance. We'll gain 40 stress because we're just. I'll give you overseer. I'll give you overseer. Unfortunately, if we're just, maybe we are not going to try to invoke the wrath of God just yet. We will instead try and invoke the money of God. So we'll ransom the devil. We'll ransom him. It breaks my heart. How we laughed. What jolly fun we had when Scotland fell apart. Oh, how we laughed. Look at us now. I've managed to renegotiate those alliances with Lothian and Gillibricta in this region. So Gillibricta, his secondary wife, is our sister, and we are married to the sister of the Duke of Lothian. So we've gotten those two alliances back, or we will have them back at the very least. There's a bit of anarchy going on there at the moment. Connaught is going to become... Connaught already has become a nuisance and a menace. We were in a much stronger position to see them off. But they have a very, very strong ally in England. So that's a bit worrying. And of course, we have lost everything. We have lost absolutely everything. We are, however, being told that we're in a position, and we might have to consider it. Unfortunately, we are in a position to declare war on our nephew, who we are currently supporting to succeed in Munster. We might very well have to try and reconquer Meath in the next episode. We're going to have to look at extending our power in the north. If we can take Meath, what we would do is then push for Ivale and begin. Connaught is too powerful, and it has shown that it is not prepared to sit back and watch as we grow in strength. That was the first attempt that Connaught has made in some decades. The first attempt under Rory's rule to expand, and its goal was to expand at the expense of Munster and take basically our largest province or county that we are depending on, the very heartland of the Dalgash. The Dalgash is not the heartland of the Dalgash. Tuavuan is our heartland, so damn them to hell, damn them to hell, and damn the drink. It was a terrible idea. It was a terrible idea for an alcoholic to marry a barmaid. That's where this all started to go downhill. But there you go. That's how affairs sit in the Kingdom of Ireland. In the Kingdom of Munster. We were so close. We were so close. But there you go. Possibly we will see the house return to its former glory, or we will see it rip itself apart. Who knows? We'll find out on the next episode. Thank you for joining me on this one, and I hope to see you again in future.